What's good? Thank you, everyone, so much for tuning into this episode of the Newest Olympian. My name is Mike Schubert. I'm the titular Newest Olympian. I'm a grown man who never read the Percy Jackson books as a kid, but I read them as an adult. And then I started getting involved in the TV show by interviewing folks who were involved in the production. And we have another very special interview today with Dior Goodjohn, who plays Clarisse. Dior, how's it going?
It is going phenomenal. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm very happy. We're recording this one on December 20th, so the premiere has taken place. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is live. Disney Plus shocked the world by releasing it early. Did you know they were going to release it early, or was it a surprise to you as well?
It was a little bit of a surprise to me. We had a tip off. They were like, listen, guys, this is what we're doing. You're going to post about it and it's going to be great. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because I saw Leah, who plays Annabeth, posted a little thing like, see you all tonight. And yes, I mean tonight.
I said tonight. Yeah.
It's always good. I'm a big basketball fan, so I love a cryptic social media post, but I like that Leah put the cryptic thing and then was like, by the way, a little less cryptic.
I love that girl. Oh my God. She's everything.
She's fantastic. And you're fantastic. Episode 2 is one of the two that came out. Episode 2, which I think should be called, like, yes, Supreme Lord of the Bathroom is a good title, but I think it is the Clarisse Show when you really think about it. How excited are you now that the episode is out? Obviously, the show's out, but episode 2 is, like, really where the bulk of your scenes are. How do you feel now that episode 2 is out and everyone's seen it?
I I don't have any words. I'm grateful. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm all the things at the same time. Uh, from what I've seen from the fans, which I love that like they tag me and everything and I can like see what they're up to. For what I'm seeing, I gave them what they wanted, which is the only thing that makes me happy at this point, to be honest with you. So I'm just glad that I delivered. At least I hope to the people that do think I delivered. Yeah.
I think so. I feel like from the fan reception, whether that is the applause that was at the premiere when we are there, seeing it, the whole crowd went wild when you showed up on the screen. And I believe, because you and I were talking at the premiere, you were seated next to Jason Mantzoukas. Is that correct?
Oh my God, I was seated next to Jason Sudeikis. It's like the best moment of my entire life.
Did you know that you were going to be seated next to him? Was it completely just by chance?
I had no idea. I just showed up and I went where they told me to go. And I'm like, oh, la di da, whatever, whatever. I was sitting down. And then I look in my row and I'm like, Mom, it's Jason. She's like, who? I'm like, Jason Mantzoukas. It was so fun.
And you had some scenes with him on the TV show, right? But had you really interacted before sitting next to him at the premiere?
No, this was like our first time truly, truly interacting. The one scene that I did have with him, it was around like kind of like the Coliseum type thing where everybody eats lunch at and Percy's picking who he wants to go on the quest with.
Mm-hmm.
And Dionysus is like standing in the circle, like side by side with Percy. And that was really the only scene that I had with him. But I remember that day on set, he showed up wearing his N95 in true Jason Mantzoukas like mode, like, okay, I'm here. I'm doing what I need to do. Okay, bye. I'll see you guys later. But it was so perfect and like so him and so great. I loved it. It was so cool.
That's great. I feel like that's how he did the premiere as well, because I know he did the red carpet thing. He saw the premiere, and then I was not someone that was doing the red carpet. I was just, watching it, and then as a guest, and I was like, if I got to talk to him, that'd be cool. I didn't see him anywhere. I'm assuming he left right after.
Dude, he came, did the do, and said, okay, peace, bye.
Oh, but he missed out on all that free sushi. Come on, Jason.
The sushi was so good.
I mean, that was one of my questions, but we can get to it now. What was your favorite food from the premiere? Because my answer would have been the sushi. It was incredible.
And the Percy drink, the like 7-Up, the blue 7-Up, that was crazy. And I'm so mad. I was gonna take, that light up ice cube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had a talk with Lena and Momo. Lena Walker's like, what's it called? Older sister. And I was like, guys, I'm stealing this ice cube. They're not going to reuse this plastic ice cube. Like I have to take it. I'm doing it. And I didn't end up doing it because I didn't have my purse. I'm like, where am I going to put it?
Yeah, see, that was the key is Kelly, my wife, was there with me. She had a purse. First thing, she got a drink, specifically asked for the ice cube. Straight into the purse.
Into the bag. Yep.
I would imagine you would have some pull. I think you might be able to pull some strings and get an ice cube. Like
ice cube? Maybe. We'll see.
Season two, at the season two premiere, when they run it back, Met round two, and they have new ice cubes, we'll make sure we get you a Percy you can steal an ice cube. As far as the premiere, though, you were there with your family. Did they have a fun time? What was that like for all of you to be there at the Met to see the show on the big screen?
It was a dream come true. My mom and dad were having a field day. My dad was here chatting it up like, hey, you see, yep, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. And my mom was like, Troy, calm down. It was so cute and boozy though. I love them so much.
Oh, that's great. I love that dynamic. That's really fun. Now, it
Yeah.
wasn't just the premiere that you were in New York for. You got to, along with the cast, do some fun New York City things.
Yeah.
I think you guys were all in Times Square. What was your favorite thing that you did when you were in New York?
Definitely seeing the billboard in Times Square with everybody. It was a like a big thing. We were like gonna take pictures for Percy series, the Instagram. And funny story about that actually. Charlie and I had gone to the gym earlier that day. And I mean, Charlie's Charlie, so he can work out for 5 minutes and then look jacked. I, on the
Yeah.
other, no, like it's also just me though. Like I spend hours in there because I move slow. And so I'm in there, la di da di da, I take my shower, whatever, everything's fine. Then I get a call from Charlie, like, where are you? You need to be here right now. I'm like, what do you mean right now? And he's like, we're all in Times Square. Da, 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 da. We're gonna go take pictures. They're freezing the billboard in like 5 minutes, run. So I am like, okay. I leave all of my belongings in the locker at the gym and I run from Rockefeller to Times Square with my jacket unzipped because I'm like, who has time to zip up their puffer right now? So I'm
Hmm.
just Usain Bolting it in the middle of New York. Like, and I honestly, it was kind of cutesy. I had like a little like movie moment, like running through the streets of New York.
Yes, I love it. I love it. That's the joy. I live in New York. I love the things that can happen in New York where sometimes even the most mundane or silly tasks, you look around and you're like, "Oh, I'm in one of the most famous places on earth. Like how upset, how stressed can I be?"
Exactly. Dude, I caught the bug. I caught the bug when I was over there. I want to move so bad. Even if it's just for 6 months, like just put me over there just for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, look, I'm very biased, but I think it's the greatest city on earth. So, it's a pretty good town. What was your favorite thing that you ate? Did you get any classic like New York City food while you were in town?
Okay, I went to Junior's and I got the famous Junior's strawberry cheesecake, and it was
Okay.
the thing to
Oh.
enter like my vicinity in my life. So good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't know. I still haven't had it yet, so I'll have to have it.
Oh, you need to have it. It's so good. But like if you like cheesecake, obviously. I wanted to stop at the halal guys, like one of those stands, but I didn't get to.
Next time. Next time. Hall
Yeah.
Guys is good. It's no joke. It's quality stuff. So we've talked about the premiere, we've talked about the show, but let's take it all the way back to the beginning. When it comes to auditioning, casting, all that kind of stuff, what was the process that led from you considering the role to ultimately being cast and then filming for the role?
So it was actually kind of strange and funny, mainly because I was like all the way across the globe when I got my audition. So it was about, I want to say 2021, end of 2021, beginning 2022, when like my audition process really, really started. Let's put it this way. When COVID happened, my mom decided, I'm half Persian. So my mom decided that she wanted to move back to Iran. So since COVID, I'm like halfway. I lived 6 months in Iran, 6 months in the States. And so around that time, we were in LA. Like I had finished shooting something. I can't remember what it was, but we were in LA and I had finished shooting something. We're getting ready to go home. I'm like standing there, whatever, whatever. And I get my email saying that I have an audition for Percy Jackson and the Olympians. And my first thought was, really? Me? Because while I was shooting, one of my friends had an audition for Percy. And I read lines with him and I was like, it'd be so cool to do something like this. But like, I don't know, it's all like Greek mythology. Like maybe I'm not like the right fit for it. And so then I get the audition in my inbox. I'm like, okay. I do the audition kind of in a hurry, to be honest with you, because we were trying to get ready to get on the plane and go across the globe. And so I do it. I don't hear back for maybe like a couple months, like maybe like a couple weeks, like a month and a half. And then I get the call back. I send in another tape. And then after that, I'm in Iran and they say, hey, you have a session with Dan and James, the director. I was talking with my acting coach. I'm like, what can I do to like set myself apart? Like, what can I do to like really like get in there and show them that I can be good for this? And he was like, well, you could always do choreography. Like, do you have anything that looks like a spear? And so I took apart I had like a recording situation because I make music. So I had a recording situation in my room. I took apart my mic stand and put tinfoil on the end of the stick of my mic stand to like make an electric spear. And I did like mock choreography of like because my audition scene was the capture the flag scene.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I had like my mock choreography of my thing, and I ended up smashing my laptop in the middle of the in the middle of the audition. But hey, they loved it, I guess, because I'm
Can't argue
here.
with the results.
Yeah. First of all, I had ripped the paint off of the ceiling because like I put up a little sheet and I was like, it needs to stay up, but like it has to be flat. So I put command hooks on the ceiling. It was falling off left and right. My poor mom and her poor ceiling. But the paint came off the ceiling. I smashed my laptop with a mic stand, but it got me here. And yeah.
It was all worth it. It's
Yeah.
all meant to be. That is incredible. That is so incredible. So you end up getting cast as Clarisse, and at that point, show starts moving along. When you're getting into some of the fun things like hair, makeup, costume, were you excited? Were the camo pants and the boots, were you feeling that? Was that not your style? Once you're in Clarisse mode, how did you feel?
I felt like a total badass. It was so cool. Like hair and makeup, oh my God, we have the coolest, the best hair and makeup team. First of all, Maddie, that's my girl. Me and her will be in the makeup trailer, just like talking and talking and talking. But I love her so much. And she was like, we need to make you look dirty. Like, we need to make you look dirtier. So that I remember we put like all this like fake mud, like all over my face. It was so fun. And then I remember when we were doing the fitting for her capture the flag outfit, the camo pants. As soon as I saw the camo pants, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. Yeah. It was
Hmm.
so awesome. It was so awesome. And then I got my little bandana. I wanted to put it up here, but they refused to give me the cut off sleeves. So we put it on the wrist.
Okay, yeah, because I think the cutoff sleeves, they were saving it for Hephaestus' cabin, so I guess they didn't want to have the confusion there.
Yeah.
Hmm. When it is costuming, do you get any say, like with your personal style, or is it just kind of like they tell you this is what you're doing, wear it like this, or do you get to have any input?
Honestly, with Percy, I was very go with the flow, very, very much go with the flow, especially because the character is already developed. There's already a specific image for her. So I was kind of just like, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all do your thing. But one thing though is spiritual girly here. I'm always wearing like a million different like crystal bracelets. And so when I went for my first fitting, they saw the bracelets and they were like, we have to do something with that. So I have like cool like leather stacks and stuff like that on my wrist. So that's the one thing like Diorism that's in
That's
there.
cool. That's cool. You are bringing something to the table. You know, some Rick had his writing, but now you've got the personal style, and now
Got
you've
the
got
bracelet.
yeah. That is super cool. That's super cool. So in episode 2, one of the other scenes you're doing is the Supreme Lord of the Bathroom scene where Percy recognizes his water powers. Clarice gets doused with a bunch of toilet water. I'm assuming they used regular water, but for filming that, did it take a lot of takes? Are you just wet for the whole day? Like, how does filming that go?
Yeah, actually, ooh, you're getting a little sneak peek. I was about to post that content on my Instagram. They
Okay.
had me in a wetsuit underneath my camp like attire.
Ah.
And like they had like I think 5 or 6 100-gallon tanks lined up behind this like cabin in what's it called? The soundstage.
Mhm.
And I was wet the entire day. I was wet the entire day. But you know what? I had fun. It was worth it. Yeah,
And
it was
were
worth
you doing stunt stuff? Because the water kind of pushes Clarice back. Were you the one getting yanked? Were there stunt
it.
doubles or CGI?
I wish I was the one getting yanked. I asked them, I begged and I pleaded. They were like, no, you're a minor. If you break something, that's not happening. We're not doing this here. So my girl Nilu, actually, she's my stunt double. She's amazing. I love her so much. They hooked her up on some cables and flung her back. And then I kind of just like I stepped in and laid on the floor in water. And
Nice.
then
You will have to see maybe, show goes along, future season 5, you're like, look, full-fledged adult, let me
listen,
do the scenes.
I will take responsibility if something breaks, man. Seriously. I'm
Drink a
so
bunch of milk, get that calcium up, say, look, my bones are strong. I've been
I'm
having vitamin D for years.
so
So then during Capture the Flag, there is one particular moment that I loved when Percy gets scared and kind of runs away. before you
Mhm.
chase after him, you let out just like this little menacing laugh. And I thought it was incredibly convincing. Is that particular laugh something that you practice? Is it something that came naturally? Were you like in the mirror trying to become more and more sadistic with the laugh? How does that all come to be?
We did a bunch of takes where I was super serious. And then James, he walks up, he takes his headphones off. He's like, just have fun. Have fun. Enjoy it a little bit more. And I'm like, okay. And so I kind of just, when I was like, what would I do if it kind of, it was a switch from less of like, I am going to murder this kid. I have to prove something and change more into a thing of like, oh, this is fun. Look at him. He's scared of me.
I think it's a good change because I think it makes it more terrifying because it's not like what you would think is the natural reaction, which if you're just screaming and yelling, sure. But when you're having fun with it, it's kind of like the, cat playing with its food kind of thing. And then it's like,
Okay.
oh no, because it's not only you get the fear, but it's also like, she looks like she's having too much fun
Oh,
with this.
she
Like it
likes
gets that
it.
unsettling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Percy, in the first interaction when you meet him, though, like he basically says one syllable to you, and Clarisse just pushes him over. Is that something that you had to choreograph with Walker to make sure you're not like pushing him over? Are there stunt people involved in a fall that small? How does that go?
Walker is the precious cargo. That's all I'm gonna say. Walker is the precious cargo. We actually had for capture the flag scene, they had a full iron spear for me to use, and they were like, maybe not. We don't want you to kill the kid on accident. And so, but yeah, for the fall, for that thing where I shove him and push him, there was an entire little like conversation about how he was gonna fall, how hard I was gonna push him. There's a little mat. We like tested it out a couple times, and then yeah, all of that.
That's good. Yeah, got to keep him
Yeah,
safe.
gotta keep,
Understandable for
gotta
sure.
keep, gotta keep the boy safe.
Yeah.
Little bug.
Now, you mentioned having a big iron spear. I think one of the greatest moments from you in that capture the flag scene is when you bust out Ares' spear, slam it down, the sparks start flying, and I think it's a really important scene because everyone who's read the books knows the importance of the spear. They know it's a gift from Ares. They know that it's like your prized possession. But in the TV show, there's no dialogue. It's not like someone says, "Oh, hey, Clarisse, it's your favorite spear that you got from your dad." Like, you don't have the opportunity to convey that via dialogue. The only way you get to do that is just the loving look that you give to the tip of the spear once it's sparking. Was that something that was an intentional choice where, whether that's the director or anyone else telling you what to do? I think it conveyed perfectly what went into just that little moment.
Beautiful. What I will say, I did a lot of character development. Clarisse was already developed, of course, as you know, but I did a lot of personal character development for her. It wasn't a conscious thing. It kind of just happened. Your job is to put in the work beforehand and then forget all of it when you come to set so that it's authentic and real and in real time. So I would say it wasn't a conscious decision. It kind of just happened and I'm glad it happened the way that it did, for sure.
Nice. And was that prep work, was that reading the original books, looking up stuff about the character? What went into it?
Of course. I'm still in the process of reading the books actually right now, but it was a lot of hours up at 3 a.m. going deep into like Riordan, like wiki fandom and all that stuff, and just learning as much as I can, not just about the series, but about Clarisse specifically. Like I tried to find the deep cut stuff, like about Clarisse, so I could mix and master. Another thing that I do is like I write once I have enough information, typically for each character, I'll write like a little biography. I know Sydney Sweeney does the same thing, but she writes entire books. I write little like bios on my character. And so that's what I did. I studied a lot about the deep cut stuff about Clarice and put it all together in my little mini book.
Nice. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, we'll hope that there are future seasons and stuff. Was there anything either from your reading or your deep dives? Is there a particular Clarice scene that you're like, oh man, if we get to season whatever and I get to do this, is there something you'd like very particularly be excited about acting out?
When I go Super Saiyan and slay the dragon.
Okay. Yeah. I
That
mean,
that top tier Clarice moment right there. I'm so ready for that. So ready. But I mean, that's like how old? I'll be like what? 21 shooting that if we get there.
I would like to say when we get there, but yes.
When? Period.
Let's manifest. But I mean, yeah, that is if you polled a bunch of PJO fans about the scene, I think everyone's going to be picking that, if not something that you've already filmed. And just the dragon parading around after, like
Oh yeah.
that's going to be good stuff. That'll be
Oh,
great. Let's hope we get there.
oh
So
yeah.
when it comes to acting, when it comes to acting in the show specifically, I know they used the volume a lot. Huge TV screen that can basically replace a blue screen or a green screen. What was
Yep.
it like acting in front of it? Was this your first time doing it? What was the experience like?
The volume is out of this world. It makes you feel like small. It's huge, like properly gigantic. It's so beautiful and so amazing. Sadly, I didn't have any scenes on the volume. Everything I did, the only thing that I did that wasn't practical was the Lord of the Bathroom scene. That was shot in, but everything else I did was practical. It was outside. But I saw the volume for the very first time when Arian was shooting his scene meeting up with the Cloven Council. And that was like magic. It was so beautiful. Like the screen, what we got on camera doesn't even do it justice to how it looks in person.
That's really cool. I
Yeah.
also heard from some of the production folks. I think Dan and John were talking about how on the last day of one of the shoots, they used the volume and they hooked up Mario Kart. Were you there for the Mario Kart day on the volume?
No, I wish I heard about it in the group chat and I was like, man.
Are you a solid Mario Kart player? Were you upset because you could beat them all?
I'm not saying I'm good, but I am saying I have passion.
Mm.
I have
Who's your character?
Princess Peach.
Good call. Classic.
Peach or Toad. It's Princess Peach or Toad.
All
It
right.
depends on.
I'm a big Toad guy. I like Toad in N64 Mario Kart. That's always my pick. He's just his yells of excitement when you use the mushrooms,
Uh-huh.
those wahoos. Like, come on. How do you not love
I
it?
love him. He's so cute.
Adorable. Adorable. So, something else that went along with acting with some of the stuff that I think is just interesting is that when you're acting with scenes with Chiron, Glenn is on top of a horse. What was it like acting alongside a man on top of a horse?
It was awesome because Glenn is Glenn.
Yeah.
It was awesome because Glenn is Glenn. I wonder if they're ever going to put these out. When we were shooting that scene where Percy's picking who he's going to bring with him on the quest, it comes to a line where he's announcing the people that Walker has chosen. And he kept saying, and Annabelle Chase. It was probably like 11 takes, but it was so perfect and no one could get mad because it's Glenn. It was so good. Yeah, no, he's great. I love him.
That's fun. Like, I can't blame
Also,
him.
him and Leah are related. I had no idea.
In what way?
I think he's like her like far removed like god uncle or something like that. All I know is that they're related and I'm like small world because Leah's family knows my family
Oh,
from
how?
way back when. His dad worked at the Chrysler factory that my aunt Linda worked at. Like
Wow.
that's insane.
Look at all these connections. That's
That's
incredible.
what I'm saying. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I mean, you've got these connections, but just my impression that I got from meeting everyone on the production team, getting to meet you and some of the other actors at the premiere, it just seems like everyone is so cohesive. Everyone seems to work together, even if the jobs are different. Like, you've got Tish, the costume designer, in line with the VFX guys. It just feels like it's such a happy family. Is that true behind the camera? It feels like everyone loves each other. And I think that conveys into the show.
It is 100%. I adore the kids. Charlie and I call them the kids, but they're literally the same age as me. I adore everybody. Everybody on that set. Everyone's putting in so much work. Everybody's putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it. But everyone still makes sure that it's a good time and everyone's constantly checking in on each other. It's honestly probably one of the healthiest sets that I've ever been on.
That's really nice. That's good to hear. All right, we only have time for one more question, so I saved this one for last. You mentioned
Okay.
music stuff. You have posted music things on Instagram, and I don't know if you've seen the tweet from a couple years ago, but Olivia Rodrigo once tweeted that she wrote a bunch of cringe Percy Jackson songs. Are you going to try to get her to release those? Do you want to do a collaboration? Is there
Listen,
anything that could come from this? Because it feels like the world needs the Dior Goodjohn x Olivia Rodrigo Percy Jackson musical combo album.
if Olivia is watching this, girl, it is on site. Text me. Text me. Yeah, no. I think the world needs it, and I think the world deserves it as well.
Yeah.
Get
All right.
guitar songs out, you know.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Amazing. Olivia, go text her, make it happen, and
Come
the
on,
world
girl.
will thank
It's
you.
time.
Well, Dior, thank you so much for coming on, for chatting, giving some wonderful stories. Truly, the show's fantastic. Your performance is fantastic. And congratulations for all of the success and for what lies ahead. Things are going to be great.
So much for having me on, man. It was awesome talking to you.
Of course. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too.